E aí, galera, no podcast de hoje vamos falar de...
Ninguém precisa passar por isso hoje em dia. Tá com gases? Luftal. Ele age rapidinho, em 10 minutos, aliviando a dor e o estufamento dos gases e evitando o pum. Porque desfaz os gases ainda na barriga. Chega de passar dor e constrangimento por conta disso.
Bora gravar de novo que agora eu tô pronto.
Luftal Simeticona, indicado para pacientes com excesso de gases no aparelho digestivo. Se persistirem os sintomas, o médico deverá ser consultado. Dezembro de 2024.
Interrompemos esse podcast para perguntar: quem você quer ser?
Designer,
engenheira, pedagoga,
administrador.
Quer saber? O Senac EAD é nota máxima no MEC. Tem cursos de diversas áreas, com conteúdo elaborado por especialistas do mercado e professores mestres e doutores. Ainda tem o Senac Carreiras, conectando estudantes a vagas de emprego em todo o país. Saiba mais em ead.senac.br/graduação.
Anyone who watched the American presidential debate, listen. If you're American, what are we going to do? Actually, I know what we're going to do. I need everyone to please get out there and vote. I know we are voting between the lesser of two evils because if we're being honest, one of them looks like he's about to drop dead any second now. The other one, But if you're not American, because I know I have a lot of non-American listeners, hey, close your eyes. Hey, turn it off. Hey, turn off the TV. This is just embarrassing family things that we like to keep on the low. I'm so serious. Actually, yeah, let's take some time. Everyone, please register to vote. If you listen to my podcast, especially if you're American, please go register to vote. I cannot... The way this country feels, and I know we all feel it. Let's talk about the fact that a lot of us are struggling to find a job if you've just graduated. A lot of people who listen to my podcast are older. Hey, how y'all doing? But let's be honest. Sorry. Oh my God, let me just choke on my spit and I get hiccups. Sometimes I think my body wants to take me out. I'll just be minding my business and then I'll start choking on my own spit or air. And then I instantly get hiccups. But I know a lot of us are literally struggling to find jobs because I'm in the depths of it. And girl, let me tell you, I know a lot of us are also struggling with our current jobs to pay bills because the cost of living, like the life inflation, is so real. So real. I have seen so many social media videos of people who hop online and they're just like, I can't afford life. How are people affording life? I just don't get it. The truth is none of us are. Truly none of us are. And then to make it worse, you get on and you want an escape. You want an escape from life so badly that you don't realize that you put yourself in these positions where you're scrolling through social media and you just become like, you feel so left out. Because watching a bunch of people thrive, when you're scrolling through Instagram, that's a highlight reel. TikTok is now a highlight reel. And Twitter is the only place where people are like, I'm struggling, I'm broke, but hey, at least I got a chicken sandwich. Why is that literally me? I'm struggling, I'm broke, but I just bought a chicken sandwich. It was delicioso too. I have no regrets. So you're not alone. But to fix this, we need to start with the government. And we really need to get out there and vote and really do our due diligence and research. I have been doing so much research and I wish I could sit here and link, here's where I've gotten my research, here's what I've learned, here's where I've learned like who to vote for. Because I've tried doing research to like add it to my podcast. But if I'm being completely honest, everything that I've looked up, they are not giving good information about each person because I want to know what each person is fighting for, like fully fighting for. Because I've seen one commercial where one guy is like, we're going to close all the borders. We're deporting everyone. We're deporting every illegal immigrant. The illegal immigrants are taking our jobs. Genuine commercial in Texas on my mom's TV. Come to College Station and my TV knows what I like and what I'm looking for. Same guy, different commercial. Now it's, I'm looking to expand affordable healthcare. I'm going to make sure healthcare is affordable to all. I'm now going to go fight all the people in the healthcare system and bring prices down, bring costs down, and make sure everyone can afford health insurance, can afford healthcare with or without insurance. And I just sat there and was like, and this is why I need to do my research. Because it's so easy to see what, like, even what we're fed through social media ads and, like, commercials. But you don't really know. But I don't want to spend my entire time talking about the presidential debate. I'm going to let go and let God, like, truly, girl. Truly. But what else is happening? So the Drake and Kendrick beef. I'm finally going to put my little 2 cents into it. Also, I pulled a muscle in my neck and shoulder region, like on the right side. It might be a pinched nerve. And when I tell you I can barely move and I'm supposed to be packing to move out, a girl is tired. I'm so tired. And not just like physically. I'm not tired physically at all. I'm tired mentally. But that's besides the point. That's neither here nor there. Go back to the episode where I'm like, what's a will to live? Hey, that's how I'm feeling. But chef's kiss. But I love Drake as an artist. When I got to see him at the rodeo, I almost passed out from screaming. Found out he lived in Houston. I was like, I'm going to go stalk his home. After listening to the Kendrick songs, and especially, it's just putting into perspective. I remember when I wanted Rihanna and Drake to be together so badly. And I was like, why is Rihanna, like, turning him down? Like, I know if you don't like someone, you just don't like someone. But to me, like, Drake was, like, one of the greatest people alive. Amazing rapper. Has money. Has a great career. Seems so genuine and nice. And I'm like, Rihanna, what's wrong, girl? He's obsessed with you. He's in love with you. Don't you want a man who's obsessed and in love with you? Granted, I was young, and now I've learned men who are typically obsessed and in love with you are going to give you the biggest headache of your life. Oh, if there's a man chasing you for years and you decide you want to date him, girl, be prepared. Be prepared to pay for a cute little therapy bill. It's always the one who chases you, who, like, will chase you for decades. I swear. I swear. Like a man who tries every day, day in and day out, and you're constantly, no, not my type, not into you. I don't like your lifestyle. I think you're weird. I don't like your interests. And then finally you give in and you're like, okay, girl. That's the one who cheated on you with 3 girls in 2 minutes. That's the one who's going to empty out your bank account once they have access to your bank account because for some reason they stole your wallet. That's the one who's going to make you literally treat them like a toddler and cook and clean every single day. They will not help you. They will not lift a finger to help you out. Oh, girl, good luck, Charlie. But I didn't know that at the time. And I was just like, Rihanna. And now hearing Kendrick songs, I'm like, oh, hey, celebrities. Yeah, like other celebrities around them kind of know them better. And I know nothing. And here I am cheering on a relationship that needed to die before it started. And so I've always been a Kendrick fan. I love what Kendrick raps about. I love the truth he raps about. I love his music. And he just proved he was the best by releasing Not Like Us. Now, Drake, hey, go hide in a hole. Oh my God. The people who are on social media and give PR advice is insane. Someone said, if you were Drake's PR manager, what would you do? Issue out an apology, take a break from music, come back in a few years with just music. Don't post anything. Don't go on social media. Like, and it's so true and it's so real. I was like, that was actually really good advice. Because whether we want to admit it or not, oh, you can counsel someone all day, every day. But truly on a larger scale, when you zoom out from just you as a person and you zoom out to like society and the culture and the people who follow them in general, oh, babes, real fans are always going to stick around. Don't believe me. I was like, don't believe me? Just look at me and Ariana Grande. Hey, I'm going to stick beside her. Ain't no one can turn me away from Ariana Grande. I'm going to stick beside her. Look at Nicki Minaj. We see that girl acting a damn fool. She dragged Megan Thee Stallion's name through the mud. Look at where she at, girl. Look where she's at. And so that's why I'm just like, no, Siri, no one's talking to you. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, Drake should probably do that. But I hate to say I'll still listen to Drake music because I like his music. I just don't like him as a person. But someone really should, like, hey, can we, like, go ahead and start an FBI investigation, though? Hey, can we go, like, send him to jail? Because if he's really a pedophile, let's put him in jail. Oh, and then his comeback being, I planted people in your circle who fed you information. You fed Kendrick Lamar information about you being the worst person on this planet. Boy, if that wasn't just you admitting the truth. Oh, I fed you information. I put people in your circle who fed you information. No, you are a damn lie. He said, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. And you, Mr. Aubrey, you, Mr. Degrassi, and what is Degrassi on? I haven't seen Degrassi in a minute. Now I'm going to read tonight. I'm done with TV. Like, I'm so emotionally drained. I do not want to watch any more TV. But you, Mr. Degrassi Wheelchair, got shot on a whole TV show. Decided, you know what would be the funniest thing? If someone in Kendrick's circle told him, if I was trying to strike a chord, it's probably A minor. They not like us. They not like, what is wrong with you? Boy, if you did not just admit to guilty, and the verdict, guilty. So here's the book that I'm currently reading. So I just finished The Queen of Days, and I thought it was a really good book. I literally think the book is like a 4.87 star book. It's so good. Constantly thinking about it. If a book 2 drops, I'm reading book 2. The only thing that would make it a 5-star for me, the first like 3 chapters, actually it was like by chapter 2, because they were long chapters. So by chapter 2, you have this like alluding to some sexual things, to some very smutty scenes, right? Like and her dress was very sheer and see-through, and I can see the peaks of some mountains through her sheer silky dress. And I pulled her into the bathtub with me because the bathtub felt great, and I already had a mountain growing on my body myself. This is me trying not to make this like a sexual podcast, okay? The words I'm using were not the words used in the book, okay? It was very vivid, very in-depth in detail, and I was like, oh my god. And then it just ended with, and then she just massaged my shoulder, and then she like gave me a shoulder massage and said like I should stay in her room, and then we woke up next to each other, and I was like, oh, not the closed door scene. And I thought I would get more of that. That was literally the only one. Everything else was like, we are best friends. We are all best of friends. I love being with my best friend. And it never, like, no kissing, there's literally a married couple in the book. And even the married couple is like, I love you so much. Peck on the forehead. So I thought it was going to get spicier than that. That spice level isn't even a 1 chili pepper out of 5. That's like 0.874 out of 5 on the spicy level. Because it got spicy with how descriptive it was in that one singular scene. But past that, girl, it wasn't much. And so because I want more from my books, I've been reading a lot of YA fantasy. And I'm a 24-year-old who's about to turn 25. I'm officially 5 months away from my 25th birthday. Good luck. Good luck, Charlie, to me on that, truly. But I like a little spice. I like a little smut. I am that type of book talk girly. So Danny gifted me a very beautiful book on my birthday. Some of y'all have read it. If y'all are book girlies. It's called Praise. And basically, a girl dumps her ex-boyfriend, or he dumped her. Somebody dumps, oh no, I think she dumped him. No, he dumped her. Girl, I don't remember, it's not that big. They broke up, okay? So the beginning of the book, they're broken up. She is watching him move into his new place at the like first chapter of the book. And she's like, where's the deposit? Where's the security deposit of our place? Because turns out they broke up. And once their lease ended, separated. And so she's like, where's my security deposit? Like, I know you just got it in the mail. Call the landlord. And he was like, oh, you didn't show up. So since you didn't show up, landlord sent it to my dad's house. And she was like, okay, well then give me the check if it was sent to your dad's house. And he was like, no, I don't talk to my dad. You know that. He's going to keep the money. So if you want the money, go see my dad. Here's his number. Here's his address. And she was like, he's your dad. Go get the money for me. And he was like, no, you know, I haven't talked to my dad in years. So it turns out one of the things that they related to in their relationship together was their daddy issues. So she shows up to the dad's place only to find out that the dad, I don't know, I think this is like a borderline billionaire romance because he has his own spicy worker company, basically. And he thought this girl, because no one gave the dad, she didn't call the dad to say, hey, I'm coming to pick up the security deposit. The son didn't call the dad saying, my ex-girlfriend's coming to pick up the security deposit. The dad didn't even know he was getting the security deposit. He just sees the check on his desk and he's like, interesting. So she shows up and the secretary is like, oh my God, you're different. You look great, because the dad was expecting another spicy worker. So the secretary, or like the housekeeper, is like, oh my God, you're kind of cute. Anyways, he's going to be right in. He's coming from somewhere. Go in his office, and just to let you know, you should probably be on your knees, because he loves when his workers are on his knees, are on their knees when he walks in. And she was like, what? Okay. Weird. So then he comes in and he's like, why aren't you on your knees? And she's like, oh my God, this guy is such a douche. Like, no wonder why your son doesn't talk to you. Moral of the story, a bunch of things happen that are very explicit, that aren't that explicit. And then the dad is like, wait, who are you? And she was like, oh, I'm your son's ex-girlfriend. I'm here for the security deposit. And he was like, they leave. She goes back to working at a crappy little skating rink, barely making ends meet. And the dad walks in and is like, hey, want a job? And now she has a new job where she can afford her bills and everything. And I was just sitting there like, I wish that would happen to me. I don't want to leave my relationship. Oh, not even close, girl. Oh, not even close. But I do need some millionaire to walk in and be like, want a job?
Saí da escola já com uma formação profissional no currículo? Metodologia por projetos. Preparação pro Enem. Atividades extras gratuitas, como acesso a oficinas, simulados, vagas de estágio, Olimpíadas do Conhecimento e muito mais. Esse é o Ensino Médio Técnico do Senac. Quer saber? Senac. Acesse sp.senac.br/ensino médio e saiba mais.
Especially because the dad's doing this to get close to his son, like to be able to talk to his son again, because you find out from the dad's point of view, he's in love with his son. He wants to see his son, but the son's just like, no. And from what the dad has told from his memories or his perspective was, it's because of the dad's business. We don't know the full extent of like why the son won't talk to the dad because of his business. But I'm assuming it's something along the lines of like, I'm embarrassed of my dad, so I'm not going to talk to him. How dare he do this to me? Oh. So yeah, forbidden love. I think it's cute. And like, the ex-boyfriend is he's a a-hole. He's a bum-hole. So I honestly think she just needs to full send with the dad. But both of them are like, boundaries. We can't. And I'm just sitting there like, you can. So I'm realizing this is very 50 Shades. What is it? 50 Shades of Grey-esque. And I'm living for it. I don't know what I'm reading after this. I'm probably going to pull from my TBR jar. I finished my 2 library books. I got the book Anon, written by Demois. Worst book I've ever read in my life. And I've read a book called Unhinged, which is about a girl who has sex with her front door and he turns into a man. And she decides to date this man. And he knows nothing. Full-grown man with the mindset of a toddler. 70-something pages. It was such a great book. Hey, it had... Listen, the plot was plotting. It was a good, stupid book. It was a book that you read to waste time. And it was great. And I read it in under 24 hours. Anon truly felt like a book that was written as merch. And I'm so for real, because it's a fictional book. Apparently, it's a fictional book very loosely based on how Anon came to be. I mean, not Anon. DeuxMoi came to be the Instagram gossip site. But with some digging and research, I found out that it's a lot closer to the truth. There's just names and stuff that are changed for protection. She adds a little romance in it. And I think that is what makes it a fictional book. And protecting herself by calling it a fictional book. So, because she releases some juicy details. Very juicy behind the scenes details of celebrity drama. Which, again, with just a little Google search, you realize is based on some actual juicy details that has made her... that made DeuxMoi pop off. Like, genuinely just changed the names and a little bit of the narrative. And I think that's why she's like, okay, it's fiction, to protect herself. Girl, it was so bad. So badly written. The plot line does not make sense. She tries to do a She tries to do a miscommunication trope. But the trope was that was the worst miscommunication trope. And I'm starting to realize a miscommunication trope is one of the tropes that I hate, especially when it's dragged on for the entire book. It's cool if it's like, I think if done properly, it's great. Because I'm just thinking of Iron Flame. Hated that. Oh my God. Dumbest miscommunication trope of my life. Because I felt like halfway through the book, the trope was fixed. The miscommunication was fixed. But then she just wanted to hold on to resentment. So I didn't like it in Iron Flame. Read it in Anon. And that was so stupid. Oh my God. And the selfishness. And then the worst thing is she tried to do a little redemption arc of all the friends that she started to hate because they were constantly like, Cricket, you'll never be nothing. Not even that. They were like, you'll be something, you'll grow into something, you need to like grow and expand. But then they're like, no, you need to shut everything down because you're going to get me kicked out of my very big and famous club. And you're going to ruin my life. And if anyone finds out that I'm your friend because of your social media account, even though you've taken all the precautions to keep your identity hidden and no one can actually figure out who we are. But like, I don't want anyone to know that I'm associated with you because of this Instagram account. Like, girl. It did not make sense. Everything they complained about did not make sense. At first, I was like, okay, yeah, their lives would be ruined if someone figured out who DeuxMoi was. But the thing was, they weren't giving her information. They weren't interacting with it. She just took the first tidbits of information she got, like, loosely in conversation with them, posted as her first post to go viral. And then she also took, what was it? She had one of the friends take a picture, like, she witnessed it, but so she didn't out herself of like where she was at a bar. She had her friend send it in as an anonymous tip so that way she could post it even though she's the one who caught it. And they were like, oh, through these two interactions, the whole world is going to know that like we're your best friend and people are going to shun us. And I was like, this is so stupid. And then that girl, like DeuxMoi, main character, the cricket girl who's DeuxMoi in this book, she starts to have her life actually fall apart because of the Instagram account. And her friends are still like, your life is falling apart and our lives are perfectly fine, but you're going to make our lives fall apart because you're falling apart and you're so selfish. And she's just like, what? And then they sent a really mean worded email to some girl who was like about to expose her in everything. And then they just didn't mention it again. She was like, oops. And then I accidentally hit send because we were drunk. And then the following morning, I actually did an actual email, a genuine email. And then I hit send on that. And that was my professional email. And then they just never talked about it again. Like, the first email there were so many things that I just felt like if someone would have just read the book before it hit. Like, if one of her friends would have just read the book before it got published. Easiest way to prevent how horrible this book was written. Oh my God. Truly, I finished the book because of the tea. But if this was an actual fiction book where everything was made up, I would have put it down by chapter 2 or 3. I would have put it down. So it was a horrible book. But The Bandit Queens, dude, I still think about that book every now and again. I still say, Gita Ben. Like, dude, it is not even... That book is so funny. I am Saloni. Saloni is me. Me and Saloni are one. A plus-size, drop-dead, gorgeous girl who happens to be a bully. But then you find out, because we were seeing that she was a bully from the friend's point of view, you find out that she's not a bully. The friend is just stupid and she's been out of the loop with everyone. And actually everyone thinks the friend is a horrible person. So that's why she thinks everyone around her is so mean and horrible and terrible. But it's like, no, you cut yourself off from the world. And so the world just reacted to that because you gave us all a cold shoulder. Like, girl, you know how... it was so good. It was so good. It was the perfect mixture of promoting women and the toxic cultures that can happen in different countries that are literally not America. And I just found it, because my mom grew up in a small village on a small island, I found myself enjoying all the small things of village and her really encompassing... Oh my gosh, what is the name of the author? I cannot read her name from here. I'm looking at the book. Oh my gosh, I forgot it already. I'm so bad with author names. All I know is Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros. Other than that, don't ask me. Oh, and Katie Robert. Lauren Robert. Bro, I'm so bad. I'm not about to say her name, every author name that I know, but just know I'm bad with names. But yeah, it was just such a good book. It was such a good book. That author did a great job at depicting life in a small village in a foreign country. And foreign to me because I'm American. I think this author is also American. She is, because I remember I read about the author. She lives in America. I wonder if she herself is from India, though, and she just immigrated here. It was just everything about it. I was like, wow. It gave me a new perspective on my mom and her life, because there's some things that just never made sense to me. But then getting to read it from the point of view of someone who's like living in a small... Oh my God! It's just such a good book. And I still think about it daily. And I actually gave it a 6 stars. It's a 6-star read for me. And I will not shut up about it. I think I talked about it in another recent podcast episode. All my podcast episodes have just been voice notes recently. And I don't apologize for that. Girl, we're not in a good mental space. This is all I can actually work myself up to do. But don't worry. We'll do some actual podcasting soon. And I love you all. And to all, a good night. Because it's 11:30. And I just bought some alcohol. And I kind of want to crack into it. So, mwah. What is it? Oh my God, I forget it. From Zayn and Heath, they always say it. They're like, mwah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, whatever. I don't remember. Anyways, I'm not editing this. I'm putting it up as it is. Again, I just don't have the energy. Chucking up the deuce. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Mwah.